Hello, city builders. This is Hubbub. Welcome back to Nouveau Springs on the Azure Gulf map in the Sunset Harbor DLC. It's been a while. The end of the school year is always a little bit rough. Lots of grading, making sure students are successful in their classes, and the cumulative exhaustion in a normal school year is rough. With the pandemic, it's been really rough. So I kind of fell behind a little bit on recording and editing videos, although I've tried to stay up at least once a week, going online and streaming on Friday nights. But before I start, I want to reflect on where this channel's at. As I mentioned, I am a school teacher. I'm not really filming videos because I want to become a famous YouTuber, although I certainly appreciate that there are 65 people who have chosen to subscribe and follow this channel. And so I want to be able to show my appreciation in some way. And another creator by the name of Xucaboa gave me an idea, which I'm going to start implementing. I'm going to just start naming things in the city after people whom I can see on YouTube. And I'm going to try to do that in the very first couple minutes of each video. When I look at the analytics, it seems like that's the highest impact moment. Obviously, people will click onto something and may not stay on it for a full 30 minutes, but they might stay on it for 90 seconds. And so that's the time I want to do that. At the very beginning of each edited video, I'm going to show my appreciation by naming parts of the city for people who are following. I'm going to do this randomly because the list that YouTube gives me follows no particular order that I can see. This video, I think I want to name athletic venues. So we're going to dive down into the game. I'm just going to randomly grab names from this list. So the first asset I think I want to name is this track and field stadium over here. You can see we have a very successful track and field program at Nouveau Springs University. And let's see, we're just going to go with Magnus Andersson is one name I see here. So we're going to call this the Magnus Andersson Memorial. Well, that's too long. Magnus Andersson Stadium. Although if I just call it Andersson, let's see, the Andersson Memorial. Let's see, well, let me do track and field in there. Nope. Andersson Memorial. I'm going to call it Memorial Field, just to be creative. So, Andersson Memorial Field. Magnus Andersson, thank you so much for subscribing and watching. And then, what did I just do? Oh, I see what I did. Okay, and then let's see, what else do we have? We have a soccer stadium. Actually, I don't want to skip things. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else over here. I have another little stadium right here. Sports arena. This is also multi-use, I guess. It's like a high school size stadium, maybe. Soccer and some track and field in here. So let's see, we're gonna call this the fcsuper field. So thank you, fcsuper, for being a subscriber. Really appreciate it. Okay, so after we've named the fcsuper field, we're going to come on over here. I think I have a soccer stadium. The team does pretty well, 4-2 in the last 6 games. It's a winning record. And so I'm going to call this Ramirez FC Stadium. And I don't know if I can rename the actual team. Ramirez Stadium. There we go. There we go. So thank you, Mr. Ramirez, for subscribing to this channel. Appreciate it. Let's see. Anyone else? Not anyone else. What else do I have? So we have two venues over here along the waterfront. We have, this is apparently a replication of a French basketball venue. So I'm just gonna pick a name here. Now, Sportsmonkey is another YouTube creator that I've been watching lately. I really have to say I enjoy his videos, but also with a name like Sportsmonkey, how can you not name a stadium after Sportsmonkey? So we're gonna call this the Sportsmonkey. What do you call a Sportsmonkey Sports Center? How's that? Sportsmonkey Sports Center. Sportsmonkey, thank you for watching the channel. And then we have, now here's the thing, I'm skipping over this because this is a slightly smaller venue. It's called a stadium, but it might also serve concerts. And so I'm going to skip that one for now. But then we have this aquatic center
She'll hook you with her smile.
Over here.
Used to grasp trees in the wild. After that,
And they also have a pretty good record. Ooh, but I just thought of something else. I am going to go back to that other one. We're going to call this the Poodiemuckle Aquatic Center. Thank you, Poodiemuckle, for following. And then I just thought of something because there's one subscriber by the name of English Music. Another one. So that would actually kind of make sense on this stadium here. So we're going to call this the English Music Stadium. We're going to reenact a new wave in Nouveau Springs. So thank you so much, English Music, for subscribing to this channel. And I think that'll do it for today. I will keep coming in and identifying different landmarks to name after people. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Okay, everybody, so that pretty much wraps up the naming part of this video. I want to thank again all of those subscribers who are following the channel and watching these videos. Really appreciate you. For the rest of this video, I want to finish this in a time lapse. So I'm just going to work on this for several hours, and then that'll become a time lapse next. Enjoy the time lapse, everybody. Hello, city builders. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. Before we go back in game and take a look at the finished product, I wanted to give you a quick overview of the source that I was relying upon. There are so many different articles that you could find if you Google public gardens or global public gardens. This was one article that caught my attention given the range of locations and I guess kind of types of aesthetics that were in each of these gardens. So this was kind of my muse for the whole build. We have Versailles up here in the top left. We have this garden from Thailand in the lower right, and then a garden in the top right from Canada, and then this garden down in the lower left from the Netherlands. And these all three kind of caught my attention. All four, I mean, caught my attention. Let's see. I didn't have any water features. I'm kind of nervous about working with water, so I left that out. I don't think I had enough space really to do that in what I allotted. But here's another view of that garden from Versailles. You could see all the planters and the sequential nature of the placement of the trees and bushes. And then what I really liked about this garden from British Columbia was the irregularity of the shapes. They're not all entirely symmetrical. They organically fit together though. But then I also like the verticality in this garden. So we have some landscaping that is close down to the turf and some that extends quite a bit up vertically. And then of course tulips. Who cannot love tulips? They may not be everyone's favorite flowers, but especially as a social studies teacher, I can't help but think about tulip mania, one of the first speculative bubbles in modern economic history. Nothing to do with this build, but it's always a thought that triggers for me when I look at tulips. In any event, this build of mine definitely relies heavily on tulips. And so here we are back in game. And I think some of you, if you've been following along, may recall this particular section from the time lapse. This was the basic model that I used for the rest of the garden. But we started over here on this end, working with these flowering bushes of different colors, purple, yellow, blue. We have some green non-flowering bushes in here. Also, we have some, I think these are pear fruit trees in the workshop. But I was partly inspired by when I was in high school in marching band. Marching bands and drum and bugle corps like to make these different shapes and formations on the field that then morph into other shapes and formations on the field as they march and play. And so part of what was going on in my head here was these flowing circular lines that extend from one end of the garden to the other. If you're really paying attention, you can see, hopefully they create a kind of unity in the entire garden. I still have left a bit of negative space. I think I don't want to overdo it, and I do think that there's value to having open space because it makes you notice what's actually there better. So for example, we have this curl of trees right here extending through this open lawn right here, but then throughout added these placements of landscaping with rocks and pampas grass and tulips and these green bushes. I don't know what their specific species is. I don't know if it's even identified in the workshop, but throughout I've tried to mix things up a little bit, but fitting all of this flora into these spaces. There's some really awesome shots on the ground that you can find. I'll go do that in a second, but these are some close-ups of all the work that was done. Over here, I was fussing with what to do on the side of this mall because I didn't want to put anything in it that would totally obscure the facade. Not that it's, you know, absolutely the most gorgeous facade, but it's a really beautiful asset. And by gorgeous, I mean maybe detailed. It's it's a perfectly wonderful asset. I love it. And so I didn't want to block it out. And so I came up with the idea, especially since it's Pride Month, of trying to use the tulips to create a rainbow along the side of this mall. Now, they don't have green in this selection, and I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. That's totally okay. But I think that this actually worked pretty well. If I can find a spot to view it from, let's see. As you look down the side of that mall, it looks pretty decent. See if we can find another spot. Can I pinpoint? Maybe. There we go. Look at that. That's not bad. And then, let's see, over by the monorail station, I haven't decided that I want to put anything in here because same dilemma. I don't want to obscure the view of the monorail. And there's, if I can find the right location, there's some really cool vantage points for in-game screenshots. This isn't quite it, but looks just gorgeous. Let's see, and that's, if I can do this right, let's see if I can get it a little bit further. Got to be standing in the middle of the grass. Nope, that's not what we want. Fourth time is the charm. Please. No. Well, I have a screenshot that makes use of that pampas grass. Oh, I know. Okay, let's try this again here. Let's see. So close, but so far. I think the problem is one of vantage point here, because I think the picture was one that I got from someone standing in the gazebo there. But this is actually not that bad of a view right here. I'm sorry. This is why I love this game. This is just absolutely beautiful, in my opinion. And it's nicely framed. So there's lots of points of view for all of this. Let's see, what's this look like? Not bad. And thankfully, I picked a path that has trash cans on it. Yes, that asset is a little buggy from certain points of view. This is what I was going for, though. See, it just disappeared. Okay. And then I know I have a screenshot of this somewhere, but we got to check this out too. From here, I mean, just imagine that you are living in this residential tower. You own a condo on the 50th floor, and that's what you're waking up to in the morning. I'm just stunned by what's possible in this game. And I'm pretty sure my graphic settings are only at medium right now. Not even set that high. The other thing I like about this build is how well, like this mall, and this is by Quad, this mall wouldn't work so well if it didn't blend well with the surroundings. So everything just kind of ties together. And I actually did a bit of work over here demolishing buildings as they were growing in to make sure that the commercial buildings lining the back side of this mall were the same height. I don't know so much about architecture, but at least the same height, so it all kind of organically fits together. So that's it, everybody. That's the garden, or that's the second major garden in this city. The first is on the other side of the map where the Eden Center is plopped. I want to thank you so much for watching. I'm going to finish with some cinematics, and hopefully we'll get some more shots of the garden as we travel through the city. Thanks for being here. This is Hubbub signing off.